Okay, hi. Well, we're on page 68 right now, and it's one-step equations. We're just going to review the addition, multiplication, subtraction, addition. So we're going to review all the ways to solve one-step equations. Let me just start with addition, right? Remember how we solve this? We always want to isolate the variable. 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 So we want to know what x equals, what z equals, what a equals, what y equals, what x equals. So to do that, we have to move this other number, right? That other number to the right. So x equals, and remember when we move a positive across the equal sign, so that positive is going to become a negative. So now x equals 2. Let's see if that's right. If x equals 2, is 2 plus 8 equal to 10? Hey, 10 equals 10. That means both sides of the equation are true. So you've done very well. Let's try this. This is tricky. This is really tricky. Look at this. They put a parentheses around the minus 5. Does that matter? No. Are you going to multiply anything by minus 5? No. But what can you do? You're going to isolate the z equals 8, and then what happens when you move the minus across the equal sign? You change the sign. So the minus becomes a plus. And what happens when you combine an 8 and a 5? You get z equals 13. So check this out. Let's just put 13 back for z. What's 13 minus 5? 8. 8 equals 8. True. See, I know you're getting this. I know that there's not. Everybody has to go, oh, wow, this is so easy. All right, let's take a look at this one. So a plus 5 equals 2. What happens when you move the plus 5 across the equal sign? You change the plus to a minus, right? So now a equals minus 3. So guess what? If a equals minus 3, you tell me. Minus 3 and a plus 5. That equals a plus 2. And what do you have? Plus 2. Pretty good. Pretty good. So now y equals, oh look here, here's a minus 7, right? Look at that, it's a minus 7. So now what happens when we move it across the equal sign? You have 12 plus 7, right? The minus changes to a plus. So y equals 19. So check this out. 19 minus 7 equals 12. Is that true? So 19 minus 7 is 12. 12 equals 12. Both sides of these equations are true. You guys are doing great. You guys are doing really good. So now, x equals, oh, look at this, another minus 12. When you move it across the equal sign, you get plus 12. So that means x equals 25. So guess what? 25 minus 12 equals 13. Well, what's 25 minus 12 anyway? 13. So 13 equals 13. How's that? Pretty good, huh? All right, let's try this one. This is the last one for the one-step equation review. This is each addition equation, we're solving it by subtraction, right? You move it to the right, you isolate the variable, move it to the right, isolate the variable, and you're good to go. All right, so this is b minus 3 equals minus 7. So guess what we're going to do? Isolate the b, move the minus 3 over, and it becomes a minus 7 and a plus 3. So now it's minus 4. So b equals minus 4. Guess what? Minus 4 minus 3 equal minus 7. Remember when you have like signs, you combine? Combine the minuses. Minus 7 equals minus 7. How's that? All right, now, let's do this. Solve each subtraction. Let me erase this for a second. I got carried away. Let me erase this for a second, and we'll put in some new problems. Okay, so the next thing is solve each subtraction equation, equation by addition. Okay? So let's take a look at what they look like. So y minus 7 equals 12. Okay? So now look at this minus. Look at this minus over here. Does that bother anyone? No. You guys know what to do. You're going to move it to the right, and what we're going to end up with is y equals 12 plus 7, or y equals 19. Guess what? If that's true, we should put 19 where the y is, minus 7, and see if that really does equal 12. Guess what? 12 equals 12. Let's try the next one. X minus 12 equals 13. Really? Okay, so what are we going to do here? Is anybody troubled by this minus? No, not anymore. You're going to move it right. So that's going to be 13 plus 12. X equals what? 25. If that's true, guess what we're going to do? We're going to put 25 minus 12 equals 13. 25 minus 12, what is that again? Wait a minute. Oh, that's right. It's 13. 13 equals 13. Let's do the last one of these. B minus 3 equals minus 7. We saw this one before, didn't we? Where did we see this one? Here it is. Here it is. Remember this one? Check this out. So now we're going to do it another way. B equals minus 7. And what happens when we transfer the minus across the equal sign? Minus 7 and a plus 3. B equals minus 4. So if that's true, guess what? Minus 4 minus 3 equals a minus 7. Guess what? Minus 7 equals minus 7. You guys are doing good. I know I can't fool you guys. Okay, let's erase this. I'll do it as fast as I can, so we'll get more in the video. Okay, so now let's solve each multiplication equation by division. This is 7, 8, and 9. So here's 9z. 9z equals 72. 4x equals minus 32. Minus 13y equals 143. Okay, so now what do we do? How do we solve this again? Well, you know how to do that. You have to isolate the z, right? We divide both sides by 9. So how many 9s in 9? You get 1. What's the 1? The 1 is this variable. So even if you don't see it, there's really a 1. How many 9s in 72? 8. So guess what? What we're saying is if you multiply 9 times 8, this equals 72 equals 72. That's pretty good. You guys have got this. Now, we have to divide 4 by both sides, right? 4 into 4 leaves us the x, which is what we want. 32 divided by 4 is 8. So now what I'm saying is, if you multiply 4 times 8, I bet you're going to equal 32. So this side of the equation equals 32, and this side of the equation equals 32. Pretty good. Pretty good. What about this one? We're going to subtract y. we're going to subtract y here, and we're going to subtract y here, and that's going to give us y. And how many 13s in 143? I'm thinking minus 11. Remember, it's a minus 13 on both sides, so it's minus 11. So here's what I'm saying. Minus 13 times minus 11 equals 143. So get out your cell phones, multiply 13 times 11 is 3, 1, 0, 3, 1. Minus times a minus is a plus. 3, 4, 143, 143, right? I can't fool you guys at all, which is really good. I'm very pleased about that. Okay, let's solve each division equation by multiplication, right? So here they are. X over 3 equals 9. Y over 7 equals 8. A over 6 equals minus 4. Okay, Remember what we said? We're going to take this denominator and multiply it by the whole number. So that means x equals 27. So what's 27 divided by 3? 9 equals 9, right? That's what we're saying. So what are we going to do here? We're going to multiply the denominator times the whole number, and that's going to be y equals 56, right? So then we're going to divide 56 by 7, and we're going to say 8 equals 8. Does that make sense? Okay. What about this one? We're going to say a over 6. We're going to use the 6 times minus 4. A equals minus 24, right? So minus 24 divided by a plus 6. That's going to be a minus 4 equals a minus 4. You guys are great. You guys are great. All right, let's take a look at this. On the bottom of the page now, we're going to do right here, it says solve each equation with a fractional coefficient by multiplying the reciprocal, God in heaven. They're going to, with a fractional coefficient by multiplying the reciprocal of the coefficient. So basically, I'll show you what they want you to do. I don't think you need to do it that way, but basically, let me give you an example. What they want to do is, they want to say this. They want you to multiply, this is the reciprocal of 2/5 is 5 over 2, right? So what they want you to do is cancel out the 5s and cancel out the 2, and that leaves the x. And then they want you to multiply the 6 times 5 over 2, right? So that becomes 30 over 2, or 15. That's what they want you to do. It would be a minus because that's a minus. Here's the easy way. First of all, you don't have time to do that on the GED, right? Here's the easy way we're going to do this. I think this is easier. Minus 2 over 5x equals 6. Great. Multiply this 5 times this 6. Minus 2x equals 30. I love it. Minus 2, x equals what? Equals 30. X equals minus 15. Isn't it easier just to multiply the denominator times the whole number? That's what I would do. I don't think you should waste the time, doing the reciprocal. We could talk about that when we get together, whatever that is, which I hope is soon. So let's do this. 4 over 9y equals 16. So we're going to do this. We take our 4y equals 9 times 16, right? So what's 9 times 16? 9 times 6 is 54, 144, right? We're going to divide both sides by 4. So y equals 3, you know what? I think it's 36. What do you think? 4 over 9 times 36 over 1. Let's see if that works. What's 4 times 36? 72, 144. Is that what that is? Yeah, 144 over 9. How many 9s in 144? 14 minus 9 is 5. Bring down the 4. Hey, 16. 16, 16. See, you guys, you can't fool you guys anymore. You know this stuff. See that? I'm very proud of you. All right, let's do the last one on page 6.